Ever have one of those songs that just, like gets under your skin, stays with you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Tons.
The Drug Don't Work by The Verve. That's one for me.
Wow, yeah. Powerful song.
It's raw, It's about grief, loss. And today we're going to do a deep dive into it.
Awesome.
We've got the lyrics, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and we've got some great analysis to help us understand, like, why it hits so hard.
I love that. Getting under your skin, you said.
Yeah.
Well, there's that line right at the start. Like a cat in a bag waiting to drown. Kind of evokes that feeling.
Ugh, I know, that image. It's so vivid, right? So unsettling.
It sticks with you, doesn't it? And not just because it's vivid. It really captures how suffocating grief can be.
Yeah.
Like you're overwhelmed, struggling to breathe, just like that cat. And this trapped feeling, it goes beyond that one line.
Totally.
It's like a bigger theme, helplessness running through the whole song.
Exactly. That feeling of no escape from the pain. And then there's the title, The Drug Don't Work.
Yeah.
Repeated over and over.
Yeah. Right, like trying to numb the pain but failing. Desperate attempt.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's interesting what the speaker's saying, not that the drugs don't make them feel anything,
Oh, I see.
but they make things worse. There's an awareness there, right? Like trying to bury those feelings is pointless.
It's almost like they're saying, you got to face the pain head on if you want to heal.
Powerful message, especially for anyone who's gone through loss and looked for that easy way out.
For sure. And the song isn't afraid to go there, to the depths of that struggle. Just like you said, you leave my life, I'm better off dead. Wow.
Ooh, heavy stuff. Shows you how deep that love, that dependence ran.
Life without them is just unthinkable. That line hits hard.
That honesty, that rawness, it's a big part of why this song works. No easy answers, no sugarcoating.
It's just real. And I think that's why so many people connect with it.
Absolutely. It's like someone gets it. Someone understands this pain.
Totally. But even with all that darkness, there's this glimmer, right? That line, but I know I'll see your face again.
Ah, yes. The hope, the longing for reunion. Death isn't the end of their connection.
Love transcends the physical. But then the ending, it gets a little ambiguous, right? I'm never going down. I'm never coming down. Yeah. No more, no more, no more.
Yeah, that's where it gets really interesting. What do you make of that?
I don't know. Could be defiance, refusing to let grief win. Or maybe it's about keeping their memory alive.
I think you're on to something there. Holding on, not letting go. But it's also got that feeling of denial.
Yeah, like clinging to the hope that somehow they'll be together again.
And that repetition of no more. Almost like a mantra, the desperate plea to make it stop.
It's powerful, for sure. Shows you how intense the emotions are.
It reminds us that grief is messy. No easy answers. Sometimes it just feels unbearable.
And this song, it doesn't try to fix it, just shows it to you the way it is.
Exactly. And in a way that validates it, right? For anyone who's felt that way, like, it's okay to feel this.
It's normal. It's human. But, this brings us to something else. The power of music itself.
Oh.
The Verve tapped into something with this song, like a universal language of grief.
Oh, true.
I mean, how is it that sounds and words can hit us so hard emotionally, connect with us like that?
That's a question worth exploring. There's something about music that lets us express things, process things.
That we can't always put into words.
Exactly. It can be a lifeline, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially with grief. And The Drug Don't Work, it does that beautifully. It's raw, honest.
Have you ever had a song like that?
Yeah.
One that got you through a tough time?
Oh, yeah. Music can meet you right where you are emotionally. It's comfort, validation, even healing sometimes.
Sometimes a good song is the best medicine.
Well,
when the drugs don't work.
Exactly. As we go deeper into The Drug Don't Work, it's not just the lyrics that hit hard. The Verve's music, man.
Yeah, it's like the music itself is grieving with the words.
I love that. It's hard to put into words, but let's try. Think about the song structure. It starts so subdued, almost like holding back.
Totally. A quiet ache, slowly building.
Then that chorus hits.
Explosion. Like trying to hold it in, but the pain just takes over.
And that's what makes it so powerful, right? That musical expression of overwhelming grief.
The drums, the distorted guitars, mirroring that inner turmoil. It's visceral. Especially when Ashcroft sings, "Now the drugs don't work." His voice cracks.
Yeah. You can feel it, can't you? That desperation.
It's almost too much. But then it shifts, right near the end. It's not that intense the whole time.
Those repeated lines, I'm never going down. But the music becomes almost hypnotic.
It's hazy, like a dreamscape.
Yeah.
Sadness is still there, but
different.
Detached. Like numbness, maybe reaching past the pain.
Or, like we were saying, defiance. Refusing to give in to the grief.
Could be. And that ambiguity is right there in the music, too. Those layered vocals, everything swirling, uncertain, like being between two worlds.
Which, when you think about it, it's kind of what grief feels like, right? Not yourself, not in the world the same way anymore.
You nailed it. That liminal space, sonically, leaves you uneasy, like there's no resolution. And that's the point, isn't it? Grief doesn't have a neat ending. You don't just get over it.
The drug don't work makes you sit with that, the discomfort, the unanswered questions.
Which is more honest, somehow. More valuable than easy answers.
It's authenticity, pure and simple, showing you grief, warts and all.
And that opens it up, right? Each your listener brings their own experience to it.
I love that. It's like the song is a canvas. We each paint on it with our own emotions.
That's what makes music so amazing. It's a two-way street, the artist and the listener.
And with this song, that conversation keeps going, you know. Years later, new listeners, it still speaks to them.
It's that emotional power of music. We were talking about music psychology earlier.
Yeah.
How some songs just hit those deep nerves.
Right. We can analyze lyrics all day, but there's something deeper happening in our brains.
It's not just in our heads. It's physical, too.
Dopamine, researchers say. Pleasure, reward. Music triggers that. And it lights up brain areas for memory, emotion, even physical sensation.
So those chills, that lump in your throat, it's real.
And that helps explain why music can be such a powerful tool, right? To process, to connect, to find comfort.
It's like a backdoor to understanding ourselves and like the whole human experience.
Beautiful way to put it. It brings us back to that question we asked our listeners. What songs helped you through hard times?
It's worth thinking about, you know. The power music has to heal, to comfort, to remind us we're not alone in those dark places. What comes to mind for you?
For me, it's often songs that bring back memories. Nostalgia, longing for simpler times, maybe a lost loved one.
That feeling of being transported, powerful stuff.
Yeah, and sometimes even if those memories are sad, there's comfort in them. A reminder that we've lived, loved, lost, that we're human.
And that's a powerful thing to carry with us as we keep exploring the world of music. But there's one thing about The Drug Don't Work I've always found interesting.
Oh, what's that?
Its impact. I mean, it came out in '97, but it's still so relevant. Covered by other artists, used in movies. It's like it found a new audience with each generation.
It's endured, hasn't it? More than just a product of its time. It speaks to something deeper, something universal, across cultures, generations.
I think you're right. Love, loss, grief, searching for meaning. That's the human experience in a nutshell.
When The Drug Don't Work, it doesn't shy away from any of it. It meets us right there in the messy parts.
And that's why it connects, I think.
Yeah,
because we've all been there.
It's that honesty. It validates those feelings, the darkness. Like, it's okay to not be okay.
Exactly. And that's why it still matters. All these years later, it's a reminder that we're not alone.
A reminder that healing takes time. That there's no right way to grieve. And that, well, yeah.
It's okay to not be okay.
The Drug Don't Work doesn't give you answers, quick fixes. It just shows you the truth of grief.
And in a way, that's more helpful than any advice, any solution.
It's cathartic, isn't it? Like a release for all that pent-up emotion.
Especially in a world that wants us to just get over it, move on.
This song says, no, feel it. It's okay.
And I think that's its legacy. It's helped so many people feel seen, heard. That's the mark of great art, wouldn't you say?
Couldn't agree more. The power of music, connecting us, healing us, reminding us that we're not alone, even in the dark.
As we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with this. Keep listening to the music that moves you, the songs that help you understand the world, your place in it.
And remember, the best music. Sometimes it's the kind that meets you in your vulnerability, acknowledges the shadows.
Because even when the drugs don't work, music can be that comfort, that connection, a reminder that we'll get through.
Something to hold on to, for sure. It's amazing, isn't it, how The Drug Don't Work just seems to transcend barriers. You know, language, culture, it hits people all over the world.
It's like grief, loss, love. Those are universal. Doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. Music taps into that shared human experience.
Exactly, like a direct line to the soul. Bypasses all the noise. But there's also something very specific to our time, wouldn't you say?
Interesting. What are you thinking?
Well, about how The Drug Don't Work feels relevant today.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's like our world today, we're always told to be positive, move on, suppress the hard stuff. But this song,
It pushes back against that. It's raw. It says it's okay to feel the pain, the
It's
darkness.
like an antidote to all that toxic positivity we're bombarded with, right?
Totally. And that's why it still resonates. It's okay to not be okay. Grief is a part of life.
No quick fix, no easy answers, just honesty. And that's powerful.
It really is. And it also sparks some bigger questions about how we deal with grief as a society.
Oh, for sure. We try to rush people through it like it's something to be fixed.
Exactly. The drug don't work challenges that. It says, slow down, sit with it, feel it. That's how we heal.
It normalizes those feelings.
Yeah.
And that can be incredibly comforting when you're hurting.
Absolutely. It says, you're not alone, this is human. And that brings us back to music's power.
Yeah, it's amazing. This song is almost 30 years old, and it still feels so relevant.
It speaks to something timeless, doesn't it? About what it means to be human, to love, to lose, to try to find meaning when things feel chaotic.
I think that's why it continues to connect with people. It's a reminder that we're all in this together, and that even in the darkness, there's beauty to be found. In art, in music, in connecting with each other.
Beautifully said. It's a testament to the power of music and of human connection itself. And on that note, we come to the end of our deep dive into The Drug Don't Work.
We hope you've enjoyed exploring this incredible song with us.
And remember, the music that moves you, that speaks to your soul, keep listening to it.
It can be a source of comfort, of